Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Sonic Generations! And here we are. It's episode 4, we're finally up to the Sonic 06 level. Yeah, what is it, Burning City? I honestly forget, but yeah. The very reason, well, I don't know if this was the reason I wanted to do this Let's Play originally. This was part of the, started off all the way back in 2020 for, as a part of a series of one-offs. But here we finally fucking go. Alright, and this time I will be doing it first with Modern Sonic, and then with, great start. Awesome start. Missed all the enemies. And then we'll head off to the races with Classic Sonic. Yeah. Alright, so, again, nothing super Sonic related to talk about for you. But since the last couple of episodes, it's actually been a decent while since I recorded any Let's Plays. Last time we recorded with, with Kaiser. Actually, I did want Kaiser to, I would have wanted Kaiser along for this Let's Play because, me and Kaiser, we have a bit of a Sonic connection, but, ultimately, when I asked Kaiser which games he wanted to guest star in, he said Sunshine, and I guess he said Sunshine specifically because he wanted us to, because I would have been doing it live, and for this we would have had to have pre-recorded it because there's no way I could have shared the footage from this with him. Yeah, so specifically my favorite level is actually, okay, I said it's this level, but what I really meant was it's the Classic Sonic version. I do think the music sounds good, but it sounds much, much better in the Classic Sonic version. It's got a lot more gloomy and doomy. I guess because this is almost like, oh my god. This is almost like a reprise, basically. Yeah, so, Eurovision happened, and I'm not actually really going to I'm not sure if I necessarily want to talk about Eurovision specifically, but I do want to talk about something else that I did during the Eurovision weekend, or just before it, on the Friday. I went over to my sister's, because we of course watch Eurovision with the family. We usually watch it with our mom, because, it's a bit of a family tradition. But while I was at my sister's, I had just recently done a video about the He-Man voice actors, and that's when I discovered that Alan Oppenheimer had been in the CG animated He-Man, and I wasn't aware that he had been in it, and then I discovered, oh, the reason I didn't know about that is that there was a whole entire third season of the CG animated He-Man show that I hadn't seen yet. So I watched that then. I've made like one video talking about the CG He-Man show before, where I talked about the character redesigns, and I was, oh yeah, and it was like, I like the character redesigns, but I haven't really thought about doing an entire video about the series as a whole, because, it would have to be the webcam style again. And I've actually sort of been trying to get back on the horse, doing He-Man reviews, like actual video reviews. But as I've told before, I always get a little bit annoyed with myself because, there aren't really like that many episodes I really want to talk about, and like I said in a previous video that, I kind of like not having to do reviews on that, like, I've done so many anyway. Yeah, I talked about this in the in my in the Star Fox Let's Play, that I kind of just enjoy not having to talk about not having to think about, like, ooh, what am I gonna do for a review or something. But at the same time, I just did do the Gamesman, episode review, and you know what? I was reminded of, that, you know, actually this is kind of fun, you know. So it's not like I don't, it's not that I actively dislike making reviews. It's just that, you know, you have to do a review for a reason. There has to be a reason why you review. It's like, you know. Yeah. So anyway, I watched the third season, so I wanted to say something about that. So generally speaking, I have liked this, you know, the 3D animated He-Man series, but I will have to say that there's maybe been a little bit too much betrayal in the plot lines of that. Like the whole Ram-Man turning against Adam and company, like that was a little, that felt very forced to me. And it's also because it's very, those seasons have been very short. There have only been like 8 episodes each. Maybe I'm forgetting that there were more episodes in the first season, but yeah, that's a very short series to start doing that kind of plot line. Oh, and it's over already. Yeah, this level is not nearly as much fun as the classic Sonic level. So it's Blaze. I'm curious to see what Blaze has to say about Tiny Sonic then. Alright, it's time to switch to Tiny Sonic. So, alright, now, Crisis City. Okay, that's the name. Yeah. Yeah, this is the level that I love. Yeah, like this version of the music sounds so much more epic. I love this. This is awesome. It's really badass too. Like it's a like okay, it's like a desolate industrial thing, which, you know, maybe doesn't feel like a very classic Sonic, but whoa 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 whoa. Okay, okay, I don't think I've ever done that before. Wait. So I have to back up all the way. How do I get back up? That's my question. Oh man, I screwed up and then I can't get back up. How do I get back up? Do I? Yeah, no, this doesn't help me. I think I'm about to die because this can only get. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I was being sorry. I was being impatient. Yeah. So, so the thing is, like, with the He-Man voice acting video, like, I discovered that Alan Oppenheimer, so the original Skeletor, had been on the CG animated show. And I knew he had been in Revelations, but I didn't know he had been in that as well. And then when I discovered, like, oh, okay, he's been in episode, the reason I didn't know was because I hadn't watched the episode. So in that, he's King Grayskull, which, can I just say one thing about these new batch of He-Mans that have come along? I don't like the fact that they all try to explain the name Grayskull, because, you know, it's a fucking castle in the shape of a skull. It doesn't need to be explained, but no, now all of a sudden, Revelations did that. The CG animated show did that. So now it's like, I guess, a thing. I mean, I don't know if in the deep lore of the original toy line there was also a King Grayskull, but Grayskull doesn't need. It doesn't need to be explained, the name. It's self-explanatory. And, well, the thing with Alan Oppenheimer, I did like his voice as King Grayskull, but then when he gets briefly corrupted by the Havoc, which is the other thing that, about the new CG He-Man that I'm maybe not super wild about, I'll say that in a minute. But it's like when he gets corrupted by the Havoc power, he briefly kind of does like a half-hearted Skeletor voice. I think that's the thing about the Alan Oppenheimer's voice delivery. I mentioned in another review, yes, it was the Island of Fear review. Like that's where I highlighted how Alan Oppenheimer's Cringer voice got really bad during the second season. Because Cringer used to have a kind of a very low, sort of a, kind of pathetic, but kind of like very, very like relatable. He sounded like almost like a kindly old man, a little bit. So I liked Cringer's voice in the first season, especially whenever he's like nervous or whenever Doc. Oh no! I'm facing the wrong way. Ooh. Okay, that was lucky. So, and then during the second season of He-Man, Oppenheimer started really like upping the amount of screech, and like that's when Cringer really no longer really sounded very pleasant. And he kind of had that same thing happen with Skeletor. Skeletor used to have, I mean, he always had that very high-pitched voice, but in the first season, he was also, a bit more growly, and I think, and like his evil laugh, it was a bit more down in the throat. So it wasn't like, as nasally and high-pitched. But then during the second season, I guess because the show generally kind of got a little bit goofier, his Skeletor voice also got a bit goofier, and that's the thing, like, that's the voice and I think it's like Oppenheimer, like, his voice just naturally developed towards that direction. Oh, that's not the exit, by the way. I know it looks like it. But once we get up to it... Yeah, it flies away. I love that. That's really funny to me. So when he was doing the corrupted King Grayskull, like, he sounded a bit like his, like, Skeletor Season 2 voice. Which, I wasn't, like, a huge fan of, but, it was... it was fine. I think the fact that, Oppenheimer is, like, willing to still do the voices, and they are letting him, like, that's still cool. I like that. So, but there were other weird voices in the cast that completely took me by surprise. Like, Merman. Like, immediately when I saw Merman and I heard his voice, like, that sounds so familiar to me. Who the hell is that? And then it's like, it was George Takei. And like, holy shit. And especially like because he did it like super serious too. Like Merman in that series, he does not joke around. But of course then they did get him to say oh my at the very end. So yeah, it's like, they did acknowledge that, Takei's like, catchphrase, if you will. But yeah, I really liked Merman. And that was really funny too, because then I saw the final episode. All right, now it's time for Blaze. Let's see what Blaze has to say. I get the feeling though that a lot of these later voices, like later characters, like I don't think they have anything super funny to say. I'm a bit mixed on Blaze. I don't think I've played enough games with her in them that I have a strong opinion.
I wish I hadn't needed your help, Sonic, but thank you. By the way, you seem to look less spiky.
She has really sharp fangs, though. I mean, she is a cat, but... Blaze, by the way, is really funny because she's one of those characters whose backstory was completely retconned in a later game. There's Spectre. Okay. We can still do, what is this? This is from Sonic Unleashed, isn't it? I think. This is the Werehog game. I think Werehog is always, to me, such a, funny thing that they call him that, because, because surely it should be Hedgewolf. Because the were part of werewolf just means man. It's man-wolf. It's from like old Germanic. So calling somebody a so calling Sonic a werehog, it would imply that Sonic would become half human and not half wolf like he does in the game. Yeah, well, whatever, It's also like when I haven't watched this in ages because I kind of went off of it a little bit, but CinemaSins always had that joke about Deus Ex Machinas, like they said, like Gandalf Ex Machina, but surely, the same difference, surely it should be Deus Ex Gandalf, the other way around, because Deus Ex Machina means God out of machine, which means like when a plot resolution comes out of like too conveniently, like as if from a machine. So that's what it means. So the phrase should be like something, Deus Ex something, and not something Ex Machina, because something Ex Machina means that it's, Gandalf just showing up out of a machine, which, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, who am I to talk? Like, I also defend the use of could care less, so, Anyway, yeah, so, George Takei, being... Oh, that was the, wall flip. Wall flip, sorry. Wall kick wall. That is a bit stupid, like, you couldn't just put, like, springs there, you had to make it, like, that Sonic has to grab onto the wall. So George Takei was Merman in that, but what's interesting is, of course, that in Revelations, Merman was Kevin Conroy. The late Kevin Conroy, sadly. And that's when I discovered another thing about the, sorry, the recording cut off there, so yeah, I'm not sure if it just cut off just as I was about to say. So I discovered that Conroy, you know, did Merman in Revelations. He also did and he also appeared in, the CGI He-Man as Hordak. In the very final episode, he shows up. But, you know, of course, unfortunately, because Conroy, you know, passed away not too long ago, you know, that means that inevitably, you know, if they're going to make another season of the CG animated show, you know, they're going to have to, you know, recast, which is, you know, sad. And I don't know if they're going to do, you know, honestly, I wouldn't mind if they just got a completely different actor to do a completely different voice interpretation, because I know there is that one actor, the guy who did Batman's voice in the Batman Arkham Origins. So Conroy wasn't in that. He might have been in Arkham City as well. But, you know, he sounded exactly like Kevin Conroy. So there is that one actor who can really... it's also like with... what's that guy named? God, I know that other guy's name. The guy who sounds... Oh my god! You know what? I immediately thought to myself, I better not jump, and then I immediately jumped. Wow, that was embarrassing, yes. Okay, seriously, why isn't Sonic turning more? Because this doesn't help me turn, this just like make me go sideways. Oh god, I feel like such an idiot for not remembering that guy's name, because I actually just literally, when I talked to my sister, I ended up watching the episodes by myself, because nobody else was watching them with me, but, you know, I was talking about it afterwards with my sister, and, I mean, just Troy Baker, that's not the Batman voice, but that's the guy who does Joker's voice, and he sounds exactly... Oh, wow! Huh, went straight through that roof, huh? That would have been really funny if, like, you know, he left a Sonic shape. Are you shitting me? Okay, fuck those balloons then. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm gonna go this way. Oh my god, there's more balloons! It's an extra life. Oh my god. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? Nothing, I wasn't reacting fast enough! Yeah, but yeah, so Troy Baker, you know, he does such a good impression of, like, the Mark Hamill, Joker voice. So, you know, that's why he was, I think he's in Marvel vs. DC Universe, I mean, not Marvel, sorry. Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Yeah, sorry, this part's not really a lot of fun. There's a ring, luckily, yeah, finally made to it. Yeah. So... Oh, wow, okay, I got an achievement for that. It's not showing up on the recording again. Yeah, so Conroy did it, like, very quick, did a very quick cameo in, yeah. So, yeah, so about Havoc, so... I did like, you know, the CGI He-Man, you know, has this gimmick, if you haven't watched it, where it's not just He-Man who transforms, but, like, all his friends, like, Duncan, Crass, or Ram Man, and then Cringer, obviously, that they all transform, so they all get superpowers. Oh yeah, and Teela as well, so Teela's the, you know, in that Teela literally is the sorceress. She's not just... Teela, she literally is the sorceress. That's her superhero name, basically, in that. Which, you know, I wouldn't have minded, like, if they had kept, like, you know, the Eldress as the sorceress, because, you know what, I kind of dig the new sorceress, if you know what I mean. She's got some hips on her. No, I can't slide. What am I supposed to... Oh, I'm literally just supposed to push against it. Okay. So, and so the same applies for Skeletor's henchmen as well. So all of Skeletor's henchmen, they start off in that show just looking like, you know, normal people. So Beastman, Trapjaw, and Evelyn. Which I was really happy that those were the, you know, the bad guys that they chose. That they didn't do any of the other really lame ones. Triclops is a bit weird in that, though. It had been a long time since I watched the second series. I forgot, like, when you had the Jenny, or what was it? You know, like, who the hell is this person? And then like, I forgot, like, oh, so Triclops literally just, you know, like, possesses people. And that's, oh my god. Okay. Wait. Oh, I can go this way. No! Why do I keep messing up the jump so bad? Jesus, I am really... I mean, seriously, I know, you know, Little Sonic doesn't, like, jump very high. Oh my god. But the thing about the Havoc is, like, they really... I mean, I guess it's sort of good that it's just not, like, it's not, like, just a gimmick. It is, like, actually, like, a central plot, point. That in that version, actually, Skeletor doesn't really want the power of Grayskull so much because, you know, that's the thing that corrupts him, is the power of Havoc. But I also kind of just don't like the fact that the bad guys need to transform. That, you know, that they can't be just, you know, in their powered up form all the time. And, you know, I guess that, you know, does start to beg some obvious questions about, like, okay, why does, oh my god, you know, why does He-Man need to be Adam at all in the storylines? They did do one thing that I really liked, which was that in the storyline it started off with, you know, Adam, you know, being having been kidnapped as a child, and so he had been estranged, sort of estranged from his dad, and, you know, they did a good job with that aspect of the character. Yeah, so I do like that, but, you know, the Havoc thing, like, you know, I thought to you know, from the very get-go, I thought to myself, like, okay, this is kind of dumb, but, alright, so they needed to come up with some gimmick for the characters, that's fine. But now that it's actually, like, a central plot thing, you know, it started to feel like, I'm not a big fan of this. I do like that version of Skeletor, though. I do love the, like, the actor who plays him, and the fact that they made him silly. Or not fully silly, like, he's, like, actually fully evil, but the fact that he makes jokes, is something that I really like, because, you know, I did, when I finally did my little review, you know, podcast talking about Revelations, like, that was actually surprisingly one of my biggest letdowns, was actually Mark Hamill as Skeletor. Like, I expected him to be, you know, I didn't expect him to be, like, making jokes and stuff, but I was like, the fact that his Skeletor sounded so tired versus, you know, the new version. I actually don't know the actor's name, but, you know, I gotta give him props. Like, he is, I actually think he's even better than the Mike Young Productions Skeletor, who was it Dobson? Dobson. He's one of the Dragon Ball guys. Okay, screwed that up. Oh my god. Like one of the original the Canadian Dragon Ball guys. Oh my god. Okay, I'm supposed to get to the middle of that clock. That was, and I wasn't doing a very good job. Oh my god. But the thing that I am noticing about the CG animated He-Man, though, unfortunately, it's the same thing as with the new She-Ra, that there's too many characters. Like, did we seriously really need a fucking many faces? You know, one of my least favorites, you know, He-Man characters of all time to make a... I mean, I get, you know, I guess that the idea is to, you know, just to pay homage to the original franchise, but... you know, it is okay to leave some stuff out. Like, you don't have to include... Oh, okay. Like, it's not... You know, it's not necessary to include every fucking He-Man character under the sun. And also because that's the thing, like, I continually kind of come back to. It was a problem in the She-Ra show. It's a problem with even the original Filmation He-Man that I loved. The second season, the thing that I'm always like that I've always been very critical of is that there were just too many characters running around. And once Vector's been freed, I'll finish it off. Finish this episode off. I mean, this has been fun, but I don't like this level nearly as much as the Sonic 06 one. I've never played Sonic Underground. That's when I did the Sonic series review. I also said that I had this really big gaps in my Sonic gaming, and it's just like it's partially I think just because I didn't really run into those games, or maybe because I was preoccupied with other games. Because I don't buy even back when I was actively gaming, you know, I didn't buy new games very often. So I guess I always made choices like, okay, I'm not going to buy a Sonic game now because I have another game that I want to play. But I think I want to go back and, you know, collect some of these 3D Sonics myself and experience them for myself. Ooh, okay. I gotta say though, kind of jealous of Vector because, in case you don't know,
You know, I got a hunch someone or something is controlling that monster.
he didn't have anything funny to say. But yeah, in case you don't know, in the Sonic lore, Vector Vector is apparently an OTP ship for Vanilla Rabbit, who is Cream's mom. Which, don't get me wrong, I think that is a very, very cute ship overall. It's kind of a weird one as well. But yeah, like I said, well finished. This is where we'll end this time on Sonic Generations. Thank you for watching. I don't know if I'm going to continue the series past this point, because you know, I would have to you know, go get all the Chaos Emeralds and stuff. But it's been fun. I finally got to do the level I wanted to do, and you know, this has been a fun series. But I think I might actually want to do another Sonic game. So for now, this might be the final episode. We'll see. Anyways, thank you for watching. I've been TheHande. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.